Hello and welcome back to Cheer Up the Podcast. Today on episode 6, we're talking about all things sportsmanlike. Sportsmanship is a massive part of the cheer and dance industry, and I think it's one thing it's still there, it's still a massive spot, but it's not as amazing as it used to be back in the day. Sportsmanship back in our days was phenomenal. I think because the industry's growing and teams are getting globing, teams are getting better, each level is leveling up, the sportsmanship is lacking. I mean, in-house might be really good, but as a community, as a whole one, as an industry, the sportsmanship it's not as... Remember when we used to see each other at Worlds and stuff, like, Jane, Tycoon, how you lot have a laugh, Genesis, how you lot doing? You don't get that anymore. You literally get teams walking just...
Yeah.
Just smile. A smile goes a long way, Jane. And guess what? It's free. In the world we live in, the cost of living crisis, a smile is free. And you never know what that person is going through. Even though they might be going competition ready to compete.
Yeah, that's so true.
And they might have lost a family member, but they're still at that competition.
Exactly.
A smile can go a long way. Sorry, I went in a little bit of a rant then. Smile.
No, it's so true. I do believe with the sportsmanships, I do say it a lot, positive Polly and negative Nelly.
Yeah.
I think the kids and yourselves as coaches, you're under enough pressure to perform on the day anyway. You've got all the pressures of getting there, the spectators, wristbands, getting everything together, making sure everybody's there. Like you say, there could be a person that's stuck on the motorway and you're stressed out already. And then, if you go into an event and you know that there's club rivalry which seems to be a lot more on these days than what they ever used to be. Yes, it's stressful, and I think it's stressful on both sides, to be honest with you, because you kind of you're gauging it and you're like, is this okay? And we're all there to compete, but what we've got to remember is we're all there to be the best that we can be, because you're going to have seasons where you've got like for instance, I think I've mentioned this before, where you've just gone into a junior level, and most of your athletes, to fit that age grid, you've got one person that's aged out and you've got to go into a junior division if you're a smaller club. The rest of them are really, really young and they're going up to compete against maximum 16-year-olds, and the chances of that experience against, they could have been cheering a long time. They've got, say, we've had teams that are level 5 that are going, into teams of level 1. That is itself is hard enough, but I just think it's difficult. I've lost my thread now.
It is. No, it is. I can completely resonate with what you're saying. I think in short talks, big impacts, we're going to obviously cover sportsmanship, the attitude of people, but that's not only the athletes, that's every single part of the industry. That's coach to athlete to parent to staff member.
Yes.
I've been to a competition, I'm not going to say the name, and the staff were horrible. It was a big brand, but I'm not just blowing ICC's trumpets or ICE. Their staff are always really friendly, always really helpful, same as Future Day, their staff. I think the whole industry, attitude should be a big thing, just smile at somebody, please.
I think, like you say, I don't think one person can have that influential on the whole event. Do you know what I mean? That, like you mentioned before, that one person might be going through a really difficult time, but it's all about perspectives, isn't it? And how you perceive things. And a lot of the time when we're coaching, you've got to go in and put your red nose on, and I think that's what we've got to be mindful of, is making sure that we are professional at all times and that we are there to support each other. Yes, we are competing against each other, but doesn't mean you cannot get along. I used to always say that on my social media posts when I first set up Main All Stars. Just because we compete against each other doesn't mean we don't have to hate on each other. Yeah, I totally agree with that, because it's a hard industry to be in.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's very competitive. And like you say, if you've got younger athletes that are competing against older athletes, you've got to prepare them athletes and say, okay, you might have won your divisions when you was in youth last year because you're at the top of your division, you've done really well, and now we're going to move into a junior division, and that's going to be a lot harder for us. And we're all going for the same, we've all got the same goal. Everybody's working really, really hard, and this like, oh, we're doing, you might go there with, like, if you're a bigger gym, 18 teams, and some are going to win and some are going to lose. But it's your club as a whole, like, overall. Did that team do the best that they could do? And that should be celebrated. You're going there without this anxiety of, oh, we're better than them, they're better than us, and then that the whole sort of rigmarole that goes with it. Like I've said before, we've always done the golden envelope at our gym, and I think it's really important to really focus on you and your gym and what you're doing to keep that positivity rather than be worrying about everybody else that's in the room, because we all know
that's the first thing I say to my girls in warm-up. When we go into warm-up, I'm like, you don't need to be looking at other teams, you're the only ones in here. Look, enjoy yourself, like, motivate each other, circle up, do your stunts. The rest is just a distraction. Don't look at him, because the first thing you do as a younger team, as all the girls are walking and just stare. They just stare. I'm like, I'm sorry, you've just missed 5 minutes of your warm-up, Matt. Get on the mat. But I think the main thing is just knowing that the kids, just being supportive for them, just giving them that moral support, saying you've got this, have a smile, have fun. Like, that's the biggest thing I always say when I have a little circle up before they go on the mat. I always say, leave no stone unturned. Leave no stone unturned, and always have fun and try your best. If you do that, if you do them 3 things for me, I'm happy. I don't care where you're placed. Obviously, I do care where they're placed. Because it's work for me when I'm working out the score sheet. Like, damn.
I mean, like you say,
have fun.
I think so, and I think, like you say, years ago, I love it when you get other teams that have come and they come in, sit with you, and they'll be like, oh yeah, we want to come and support you and everything else. And then that's always kind of difficult as well, isn't it? Because you want people to come and support you, but you don't want people coming supporting you who
out of spite. We'll leave that one there. Moving on to Controversial Corner. But to sum up Short Talk's big impact is sportsmanship. Let's just try and get better at it. I think as the industry, let's just try and get better at sportsmanship. You can hate me for saying that, but I think it just needs to be. It's not like when we were around and everybody would have a laugh and we'd be in ESPN together, taking Mickey, having a joke, and just enjoying the experience.
It was like when you went to Worlds, then it was like all the high level teams, but they all went supporting one another, didn't they? And it was like, oh my God, we had a fall, we had this, we had that, and there was like camaraderie there. Whereas I do feel as though, like, at the minute there, in the industry as a whole, and this is across the board. It's not just with our team. We're not here just talking about our team. We're trying to talk about a collective, aren't we? Like, giving a much broader picture. I know we reference our teams a lot because it's natural for us to do so, but I think, like, with what's coming in on the emails that we're getting sent as well, is these are the conversations that people are asking us to have, because people have noticed a really big difference. And I think the more fierce the competitions have been and the more bids that have been given out, this is where I feel as though this competitive edge have come in. Like, they're not staying with you because they're going to another gym because they want the bid there, and then there's this awkwardness, and then and it's like, it shouldn't be awkward if that's if we can't provide what you need, then that's
that
fine.
goes back to the episodes we said before. Have the respect to say to your coach, we're moving elsewhere. We can't wait to see you guys at competitions. We'll support, vice versa. We'll leave that one there. We're moving into Controversial Corner now, and we're going to talk about the multitude of divisions. Honestly,
when this came in on the email, we was both like, ooh, yes.
There's that many divisions these days. I have no idea what's going on. I think I need to go on a coach's conference because I'm like, nah, I'll be fine.
I swear to God. Like, so, again, when we first started in the cheerleading world, you'd go and you'd look at the running order and they'd be 20 odd deep. There'd be 20 odd teams that you're going to be up against, and you was like, oh, God, like, even getting top 10.
There's that many divisions, and I can't keep up.
Well, it is Controversial Corner, so I am going to say it. Everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner. And it's non-tumble division. The controversial around that is, should non-tumble be at Worlds? Was a question we got asked. we don't have the answers to this, by the way. So we'd be really interested
to find out what you guys think.
To find out what you guys think, and keep it obviously as nice as you possibly can, but you know, without digging or pulling people out. We're not here for that. But what we are here for is to open the conversations. Like non-tumble at World seems to be a topic that it's been emailed in quite a lot.
I mean, next season you're going to open the rule book and it'd be like, oh, that's new. Oh, non-stunt team.
A floating team.
What do we do with a non-stunting team?
Yeah.
It's pretty much a solo, isn't it? But one that got me, wait for this one.
Go on.
Prep dance.
Prep dance?
Prep dance.
We're having prep dance.
Prep dance.
And what do we do in that? Is that like prep in cheer? Because the prep, can I just say, controversial corner, the prep division is like, it's still too hard.
Yeah, it is. I'm like,
it's still too hard. It's like, I think it's like 1 or 2 skills less than. You still need your walkovers and everything else. Like prep should be for
preparing
for them. Nothing more than a cartwheel, nothing more than a prep level. Like, let's get these kids in feeling confident with a prep level rather than, you know, this is 1 skill less than what you might need if you're in an all-star division. I feel as though prep should be more prep. But prep dance, please educate me, because this is new and I'm normally pretty good on
no idea what it is. It's just in the division now. There's prep dance.
Okay.
I obviously don't have dance teams, but that might be something you Google because it's a thing. It is coming.
Okay. So I wonder whether that is
hit certain moves.
A pirouette that's not on a releve and you hop round instead.
I think. I don't know how you... I'm not... this. Oh, God, I was going to say something then that might fire back at me. I'm going to say it anyway because I've got thick skin. I think, how do you simplify dance? I'm not saying dance is simple, but dance is so... dance is so like... There's so many different rules in dance, but how do you strip that back and make it into prep? I'm not saying that dance is easy. Dance is really hard. You will not catch me on the dance floor.
I'm going to be a tree.
That's what it's going to be. It's going to be contemporary dance.
Oh.
It's going to be contemporary dance, isn't it? I'm joking. But yeah, dance is really hard, especially when you've got...
We're not missed this. Contemporary dance is actually really, really hard.
Is it?
Contemporary dance is really hard, but I do get what you mean. Like when you say contemporary dance, like
you can tell I'm not a dancer.
You're going to be a seed and we're going to grow into a tree and then we'll all be wafting.
But what I'm trying to say is, how do you... What do you take away from the dancers to make it prep? Do you get what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, how do you? I don't. I'm asking you because you've got one.
We got yeah.
I'd never have a dance team because
I'd be really interested. Normally I'm pretty good on these when the rules come out. I'm normally it's a hot topic for me, but no, I've not heard of prep dance, so this is definitely...
That's the thing.
We'll have to talk about that one again. Mm-hmm. Once I know about that. Prep dance.
Yep.
Okay.
It's, you know what's fun now when you register when you register new teams online and you do the drop down box, it just goes and you're like, oh, there.
We've
under
got
16 level
prep level 1,
1.1, 2,
1.1, 2.1, non-tumble, like gone are the days of 20 odd in a division. Like it
literally used to be level 3 junior youth.
Yeah, and they'd be quite deep, these divisions, and now you've got like 1 and 2, and then
there's nothing worse going to a competition and competing against yourself, though, is there?
There isn't. And the kids don't want that. The parents don't want that. We don't want that as coaches. We actually want the competition. And as much as you want to do as well on your score sheet, you still want...
Oh, and the worst thing is, oh my God, I don't know who walked over me then, but I was like, way, hello.
Divine intervention.
I have a vision. I felt like a That's So Raven moment. No, but none of these people know what That's So Raven was.
No,
iconic Disney Channel back in day. I've lost my train of thought now, and it was massive. Oh, there we go. Yeah, competing against yourself and then winning a bid somewhere. I'm sorry. I beg your
I've got a mic to drop. I'm just dropping the fire.
I beg your pardon. Why have I got Sandra, with her team here, competing against herself and then going to getting a bid.
Yeah.
It's been done at a comp. And I'm just like, no, I'm sorry,
I
no.
think there should be like
a certain criteria they've got to hit.
Criteria or like a score level, maybe, that you need to hit a score percentage. And I am positive that Battle of the Champions used to have that when they give bids out.
Yeah.
You get a bid, even if there was only 3 in your division. If you didn't, I'm sure it was 75% or more. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that is somewhere floating around in my brain. I'm sure that used to be the case. But I do think that would be a really good, if you're in a division by yourself and there are bids being given out, that there needs to be a certain level of percentage.
Well, we're going to end on that note because I'm not going to any bid events next year because we've not got one because that team's competing against itself for getting one. Yeah, that's it. We're gonna. Sorry, dancers. I wasn't saying dance is very slow or anything like that. I'm just not a dancer. Jane is. But that sums up episode 6. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got a little quick new thing we're going to do. Jane's got pegs. So if you ever see Jane at a competition, she loves to take your pegs. I'm going to pull them out every episode and see who
I've got lots of these. I've just brought a little jar of them. So next time. So we're just going to do a little shout out for the teams. Oh, here's one. Nice one. Blue Ice. You've got a shout out. Thank you for your lovely peg, Blue Ice.
And that concludes episode 6. If you loved it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can see our beautiful faces. Also, find us on Instagram and TikTok at Cheer Up and listen to us on Spotify and RSS.com.
And the next episodes, let me just say, we've got a special guest.
We've got a guest. We've got our first guest. Now can we go, Jane?
We're going. Bye.